First of all, hi, my name is Alexandria Mez. I am a watercolor artist. Let's get right into it. So today's video is about a sketchbook that I absolutely hated working in. Despite how gorgeous it is. Like, I made this sketchbook, actually. I was very proud of it. I was very proud of how it turned out. Aesthetically, it's great. Like, beautiful flower on the cover, stuff on the back. This is fabric from a pillowcase that I didn't want anymore. So I cut it up and I made it into a cover for this sketchbook. There's cardboard underneath, and I just glued the fabric around. I actually made 2 of these, which is a bad thing, which I'll get into in a minute. I sewed it together myself as well. I did cover it up with the binding. We find like a non-spoilery page. Okay, yeah. And you can see like stitch marks in here. So I did sew it together myself. I made it all myself. I cut the paper to size and I tied it all together. This one's also a horizontal layout, as you can see, which I quickly reminded myself that I despise this layout. Whenever I buy sketchbooks, I normally buy them in a portrait binding so that they're vertical like this. I like it more. It feels more like a book to me. Whereas with the horizontal ones, if you go to like do a spread on a desk or whatever, it feels like it takes up so much more space. So then I'm wasting space because I have to have the sketchbook like all the way open. And if not, then I'm like holding it like this just so I can like have some space to draw. So I don't like the horizontal layout. That's my bad. I literally did it to myself. And the worst thing about this sketchbook that put me through so much trouble and I hated it so much is the paper. If you ever use watercolors, you know that the paper is probably one of the most important things that you need to think about. You should always use watercolor paper or at least multimedia paper whenever you're using watercolors. So, my first piece in here was a beautiful little sunset that I had painted from life. I was also trying to use up, I was trying to test out a plein air setup that I had. So I'm out here, I'm painting while yada, 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 and I'm trying to fight through this. The watercolors dried in seconds. And I use a lot of water whenever I use watercolors. I'm expecting to be able to blend it. I just want, oh my goodness. So here's like a practice for another piece that I was working on. Look at this green. I did this background so fast, and you can still see right here where it dried super quickly. And I was trying to do an even background too. Like I was just going across the page, I believe, and it just would not dry. So that was really bad for me. I did not like it. I thought I had used multimedia paper. I'm pretty sure this is multimedia paper, but it's probably the cheapest that you could possibly find. I did not like it. It did use up the paper very well, but it was such a pain to work in. Like here, again, hopefully you can see both pages, but I was trying to do just a basic gradient from yellow, orange, pink, purple. And it was drying before I could even finish the layer I was on. It was such a struggle. But I kept going because I'm not a quitter. I like to fill up my sketchbooks. I don't like having half-completed sketchbooks. I've only abandoned like 2 sketchbooks ever. So I kept going. It was a fight. Every time I picked up my watercolors and my paper, like, I just wanted a uniform background. But if I did a wash on the page, so like just water all the way down, it would be dry at the top by the time I got to the bottom. I will say the paper did hold watercolors pretty well. Like, it only warped a little bit, So that's one pro. And I kept going. The sketchbook itself was making me very, very angry. I did some studies in here. I'm not showing you all of it because it's honestly really, really ugly. Because at one point, landed right on the page. At one point I had an epiphany. And I wrote it down in here with terrible handwriting, so I might not show you. But I wrote, I hate this sketchbook. I'm going to ruin it now. And that was like all I needed to power through to finish the sketchbook. I was filling up pages with whatever came to mind. I would draw my original characters. I would test out materials. Like I tested out some rainbow colored pencils that I got. And I would just take notes on YouTube videos just to fill it up. Just keep going, just to fill it. The result is I was able to power through and I was able to finish the sketchbook. But I had to change my mindset to go from creating a bunch of beautiful, beautiful pieces on every page, like filling it with paintings and plein air studies and all this fun stuff that I wanted to do, to just filling it. Just filling it. And that was a really good mentality for me to switch to, because once I finally got to the end, I powered through, I just rushed through it. And then I was like, okay, time for my next sketchbook. And I grabbed my next sketchbook and I felt so much more comfortable going into that first page of scariness. You know, it's the blank page. You're like, it's gotta look good. And my mindset changed to be like, I'm just gonna draw something. I'm just gonna draw anything. I am going to do studies. I'm going to plan out pieces. I'm going to do life drawings. I'm going to draw my dog. I'm going to draw random people I see. I'm going to do random shape studies. Everything is going to go into the sketchbook. And that's what a sketchbook means to me. It's a place to play. It's a place to experiment. It's a place to do whatever you want. There's a lot of sketchbook tours out there, and I might be guilty of it as well, where every page is a beautiful illustration or like a really good study, or people are like, oh, this spread turned out so good. You got to stop thinking about that if you're working in a sketchbook and you're scared of ruining it. Well, don't be. Your job is to ruin a sketchbook. That's what they're meant for. No matter what price you paid for the sketchbook, if you paid $5 or $50, your job is to ruin those perfect pages. And that is what this horrible, terrible, no good paper sketchbook taught me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I inspired you to go into your next sketchbook with a more open mind.